knowing how sick and what a fighter he was, sure made things easy for me. Everything that I've done wouldn't be 1/10 of what my dad went through.
Fenech now hits him with a right. Beautiful punch. Navarro on his bike, and who can blame him? As Fenech must be getting tired from raining blows. He's tough, Navarro. He's been down twice in the last round, but he is almost out. There is no defence now.
1:22 to go, and Navarro's one punch away from being...
He's still got it.
Game as could be, could not fight any further. He was only a punching bag, and very wisely the fight was stopped. There it is, Jeff Fenech retaining his WBC featherweight championship with a win in the 5th round, and Albany County stopped the fight.
Johnny Lewis, what a fantastic performance.
The greatest fighter that this country's ever had. Mate, I just want to say hello to all the Newtown boys at the Henson Park Hotel and watching Jeffrey. They rang up today to give him their support. We love all the Newtown boys too, mate.
Johnny, was that his best effort?
Oh, great, mate. That bloke's the best fighter that he could ever fight, and he's just done it so easily.
I'm grateful when people do rate me as maybe the greatest boxer Australia's had, but I'd like to think that I'm only the same as every other boxer that steps in the ring and gives it their best. Come on. Train 7 days a week, twice a day, which consists of early morning road work between 6k, 7k, do sprints, exercise every day. In the day, pick on the car to clean up and spend some time with Con, come back home, just have a rest, and then back to the gym in the afternoon where we do a good hour and a half of shadow sparring first, skipping exercises. On alternate days we box, we punch the pads, the 4 to 30, and after that it's home and onto a rigorous diet. Because of my natural weight is a little bit heavier than my fighting weight. I've got to watch my weight, so I come home and try to have as much rest as I can. Hey? You want a vacuum? To me first. Here we go again. Open up. Oh, wow. All right, Baldy, get ready for this one.
Oh, wait, oh, so you ready to get quick? Open up. Oh, quick, you missed it.
Mum, look at this photo of Jeff. How old is he there?
4 months old. He's fat, isn't he? One day when he was at the football field, he lost the game and he was sitting down and was crying his eyes out. Daddy smacked him. I said, come on, Jeff, all teams have to lose. Then he said, no, the boys make me lose the game because they wasn't trying harder.
And he was the captain.
Yeah.
I was born in St Peters and moved to Marrickville just before I turned professional. I suppose that's where I got the nickname, the Marrickville Mauler.
He was special to me because he was the baby. He used to cuddle him in bed and he used to tell me beautiful prayers.
Pretty proud how Mum brought up all the kids. She hasn't had it easy. She had to work 3 jobs at a time. And he came from a situation where his father was an invalid pensioner and his mother was a cleaning lady looking after 6 small children.
Well, it was difficult, you know, with the 6. That was all. Jeffrey was about 1 year old when his father got sick.
He virtually came from nothing, and I guess it's the total contrast. All his life he wanted to be rich and famous, and now he's both. And I'd never change the things that I've done. I suppose I changed a few things. At times I got caught doing things wrong.
I could never catch Jeff. He was younger, but I could never catch him dodging through the cars in the street.
He got involved in street fights, he got involved in petty crime as a youngster. And I think living by himself and coming from a background where his father was obviously a man of great courage and determination to keep living for as long as he did, 20-something years after his first heart attack, that instilled an inner toughness and a mental strength in Jeff. I think that's really at the core of his success as a boxer.
We were very fortunate that a man named Shingaki held the IBF bantamweight title, and we were able to get him at Jeff's second fight, and he became the quickest in history to win a world championship.
Punch it out,
But after Shinyaki has taken plenty of punishment, he's still coming back at the end of this round. Oh, that was a bit low. Fenech didn't like it. Right. And now Fenech goes after Shinyaki. Shinyaki got him low and Fenech didn't like it at all, nor he should. As the bell goes to end round 4. Shinyaki has caught plenty with 23 seconds to go in the 7th round. But he's still inclined to walk up to Fenech and take the fight up to him. Fenech gets out of harm's way. Nice boxing. Fenech's confident.
10 seconds to go. A magnificent round for Jeff Fenech, who's hit this Japanese champion with about 400 right hands.
He's got the look of confidence on him, Fenech. As the bell goes, they're in a great round for him, round 7. Well, excitement coming from the Japanese corner as he got a left hand through to Jeff Fenech, but he hasn't got many through tonight. There hasn't been too much to cheer about so far in Shinyaki's corner. Although he's the world champion, he's been the 15 threes. He's as tough as teak. He's hurt. Shinyaki's hurt. But he fights back.
A display of sheer guts and courage from the world champion as he battles to retain his title against the Tiger from the back streets of Marrickville in Sydney. Looking at the referee now saying, please, how much longer is this going on?
Oh, and from Fenech. That stood him up. On the break, McTavish got in to break them and Fenech cut him loose. He stopped it. Fenech is the new world champion. The crowd will say it all. Still coming for Jeff Fenech, and also for Satoshi Shinyaki. Jeff, a very, very brave competitor, Mr. Shinyaki.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. That's the hardest fight I've ever had, amateurs or professional. And I don't know who says that the IBF's not a worthy title, but Shinyaki sure was a worthy champion, and I'm just so honoured to
take this belt back to Marrickville tonight and celebrate with everybody that wants to come down there, because you're all invited. God love everybody.
But there were no fisticuffs in Marrickville last night. At the hotel where the publican had sponsored him, the new champ returned home to his fans. While the television set showed replays of their hero's win, Fenech got up on the bar and displayed the championship belt and the winning gloves he'd promised to bring back to the pub and hang over the bar. And then the sweetest moment of all, as Con, Jeff's intellectually handicapped mate, joined him up on the bar to the roars of the pub. Jeff poured champagne on his pal, and then it was the happiest birthday present of all for Con. Yesterday was his birthday. Jeff promised him the world title, and last night all those promises were kept and all those dreams came true.
So you're all finished out here, Ray?
Oh, it isn't.
Shoot it.
I can shoot it.
All right.
Help me get it.
Quick. Come on. That's it.
One of the really very interesting things about Sydney's history is the ring of inner suburbs were once very respectable places to live. Paddington, Surrey Hills, Newtown, Marrickville, all these suburbs which once had some sort of status now are seen as slums. A number of community groups sought to do something. One of the strong movements was the formation and the strength of the Police and Citizens Boys Club. The idea clearly to get the kids off the street, get them doing something useful, develop some sort of social conscience, and boxing was very important.
I suppose when you're a young kid and you do something wrong, the police grab you or somebody grabs you, you can get a kick up the backside or go to court, you might get a bond or something, but as you grow older, I think you learn the tough way, and like once you reach a certain age and you get in trouble, you don't get a kick up the backside anymore. You get shooted out to the bay and things like that, and mate, I'm quite happy that boxing maybe replaced that kind of a life for me.
Boxing at this point was really a working class sport. It was a very popular sport, and fights were really very, very well attended. And so one of the ways to approach this social dimension, this perhaps social problem, was to train kids, give them boxing lessons.
The idea of the Glebe State Boxing Gymnasium is to keep all these little larrikins off the street. It's the same with Jeff Fenech, the triple world champion, who he started off in the Newtown Police Boys Club under the guidance of Johnny Lewis and a couple of nice policemen over there.
Jeff first walked into the gymnasium and he sat down just over there, and I had a young fella that was doing a bit of work with myself in the ring, and I just happened to say that we could do with some sparring, and this little cocky fella said, I'll spar him.
I was a little bit small to play rugby league, and I met Johnny Lewis up at the gym and got together and we had a good talk, and we had to choose between one of the two sports that I love, and I picked boxing because it seemed to be more of a future there. And my trainer Johnny Lewis, without him, only God knows where I'd be today. And he's been the man that's really pulled Jeff Fenech's horns in and made me work hard and made me respect people. The respect that I've got for him just makes me want to succeed, not for myself, but more for Johnny and everybody else. Friday the 1st of 10:83. Dear Jeff, how are you, mate? Hope that you're feeling fit and well and that your weight is not causing you any problems. Jeff, just do your best, mate, in Rome, because we want the experience. Have a real belt out and enjoy yourself, because it's later on that the experience will begin to show in your boxing. At this stage, against this class of fighter, it is enough to compete against them and learn as much as you can. Anyway, Jeff, I'm sure that by about 1985, we will show all the benefits of these tournaments. Once again, mate, give it your best and I'll be with you although miles away. Good luck. Hope that you're looking after yourself well. Give my regards to all the boys at the gym. See you soon, champ. Funny, 1985 is when I won the world title. Pretty special. What's that? My relationship with Johnny's more of a father-son relationship.
I have a relationship that I think is based on loyalty to each other.
I go up to the gym not to train with Johnny, but I go up there to give him respect and give him satisfaction from me winning.
I think there's a bond between the both of us, and certainly a lot of love for each other.
Most of the time, not just talking about the fight, it's talking about the feelings we have for each other as human beings. And
whenever I see him, I feel proud. I think that if he walked in the door now, I get a buzz.
There could be minutes there where Johnny or myself could have tears coming rolling down our faces, because we just know that how important the job that we're doing, and it is a lonely sport, but I know that whatever I do in sport, whatever I do in my life, and I'm always going to have that one person, Johnny Lewis, there, because I've never lost a fight with Johnny there, and I don't think I will. At the Olympic selection trials, he fought a guy called Danny Merger, and we were all terribly frightened because Danny Merger at that time had a great reputation. I don't think I've ever seen John Lewis happier than that night. It was down in Melbourne. He and I were leaping out of our seats at ringside, yelling out.
My first impression of Jeff Fenech when I met him back in 1984 in preparation for the Olympic Games, working in as the Australian coach for the Olympic Games, was Jeff's outgoing personality, his vigor, and for his limited amateur experience, I believe he only had 18 bouts. How refined he was, how hard he punched, and his aggressive attitude. He had that eye of the tiger, he had that determination and the intangibles that make a champion.
Jeff Fenech with a good straight left there that caught Red Zapolsky as he was moving into attack. Throws out the left.
Sydney's Jeff Fenech, our last boxing hope, bowed out after losing this morning's quarter-final bout against Yugoslav Redzapovsky in a split points decision. Fenech took the fight to Redzapovsky, but it was the experience of the European, who claims a record of 126 fights for 100 knockouts, which was the deciding factor. Nevertheless, it took the special jury to split the decision 4 judges to 1 after a 3-2 tie-up.
Blue corner has won it. Redzapovsky has moved into the semi-finals.
That boy's got age on his side, and this sort of thing could just ruin his career, or he could step aside and turn pro.
My greatest disappointment would have to be what happened to me at the Olympic Games, when my decision was overruled by the jury. My fingers were crossed when the decision came, and of course he missed out in well-documented controversial circumstances. Everybody goes to the Olympics with one thing on their mind, that's to have success, and the 5 judges give me the fight, and the jury overturned my decision, which was a memory that's going to live with me for a long, long time. I don't think it'll ever go. And I remember I got on the phone to John Lewis. You know, his voice was hoarse, and it was though part of him had just died. And I think I'd swap everything that I've ever earned in professional boxing just to have a chance to be Australia's first ever gold medal winner.
He laments the decision at the Los Angeles Olympics. However, that decision meant the turning point in his career as a professional, because all of Australia saw that fight in Los Angeles. They all felt that Jeff Fenech was robbed.
It was a pretty sour moment for me then in '84, and when I fought Stephen McCrory, the Olympic gold medalist in '86, it was a very happy moment. In more ways than one, I was really delighted to show the Australian public that, you know, I could have been worthy of bringing home Australia's first ever boxing gold medal.
And Steve McCrory looking mean. He hasn't looked too impressive, and he certainly hasn't been impressive in his regard to Jeff Fenech.
Looking at an inexperienced and experienced fighter in the ring together, which I'm going to take Jeff Fenech to school and drop him off.
I'll work him out early, no problems. I've never been down, mate. I'm not going to let him put me down. My mum's here tonight. If anybody's going to put me down, it'll only be her.
And Fenech, of course, sporting a hand injury for some time, bruised knuckles, calcification there. He seems to have recovered pretty well from that, though.
Joe, would you think, as in football, painkillers, what sort of drug would they use if they had to put something into his knuckles, Fenech's knuckles?
Well, what they normally do, Jeff, if it's a very painful problem, they would inject you with cortisone injection. We'll continue this after the...
South Sydney Rugby League Club. Ring trunks with red bands and pipings. Captain of Australia's boxing team to the Los Angeles Games. Unbeaten as a professional in 13 contests. Exacting retribution. Unique. Physique phenomenon. Champion Jeff Fenech.
American tried the right hand and came back with a good combination of punches there, McCrory. Cut loose in good style. But Fenech has stung into action. Back to mid-ring, and they're trading blows from all sorts of directions. Some of them a bit wild.
McCrory hit Fenech with some good punches there, but Jeff came back instantly with a flurry of punches which put McCrory off guard and totally threw him off balance.
Copy left and right and followed up with another right hand, and now he's got Fenech backing away.
He hit him with a very good left hook. Jeff Fenech was hit with a very good left hook there, and McCrory saw his chance. And he's
well, it's a good round from McCrory. Good round. He's hitting the shots in there. Right hand from McCrory, and now Fenech's looking a little anxious here, and he's just stalling for a moment. That head work from the American is making Fenech's blows get off target a lot.
Yes, well, this is a typical Kong Jin style of boxing. You know, you just move the head to the side and bob away from those big punches. McCrory's hurt. Yes, McCrory's hurt. He doesn't know what to do with it himself.
He's taking some heavy shots around the body. Fenech measured him there. Right uppercut. Oh, good punch. Beautiful punch by Fenech. And really hurt McCrory. Other right-hander. Left, right by Fenech. Left, right. And the American staggers away. Fenech goes to the body. McCrory's hurt.
The whole stadium has come alive with excitement. There's 12 seconds, 11 seconds to go down to the countdown for this round. Both men have thrown big punches. Fenech has come on very strong. McCrory doesn't know where he's standing. I think he'll ride out this round. And that's the end of the bell. What a great round for Jeff Fenech. And I'm sure the whole of Australia will applaud this young man for doing such a great job. And Jeff Fenech, of course, has been just fabulous.
Tremendous courage to withstand that as long as he did, and a great sportsman too. He was very popular with the young people when he fought in the gymnasium and the spars, and he's given them a great show. One and all, whether you be a young schoolboy or an older
Jeff,
fighter.
I mean, here we are, look at this. I mean, the fans are actually looking at Jeff with his gold medal that he's not going to keep. That's not his gold medal, that is McCrory's. But McCrory was kind enough to let him show it off. He says, well, I didn't get that one, but I'm still the world champion.
I was first introduced to Jeffrey Fenech by his then manager, Colin Love. And Colin was asking me, could I use my experience as a journalism, particularly through boxing as a boxing writer, to help promote Jeffrey Fenech. I told Colin he was wasting his time, that boxing would never come back in this city, and that it was dead in Australia. He showed me some videos of Jeffrey Fenech boxing, and there was one that I saw that I looked at and I knew there was championship material.
He was so self-assured, so confident in his own mind that he was going to be a great champion.
He had great strength. He had a terrific desire to be the winner, a desire that was going to take him to be the best. He just reeked of dedication.
I'm better than this bloke, I'm better than that bloke. I'm going to the Olympic Games, you know. This was about 2 years before the Olympic Games were even thought of. But even then he had in his mind that he was going to be somebody in boxing.
He has this special inner strength within himself that if he wants to do something, that he'll go, you know, the full distance.
He's grown into a definite world champion in terms of his physical stature. He's not the skinny little boxer that walked into the Olympic Games with the heart of a lion. He now has the heart to go with the body of a champ.
Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on my opponent. I like to see how they're standing up after the first couple of rounds.
I would not deem him today a good boxer, skill-wise, but he does have the intangibles, the hard punch, the heart, the drive, the will to win, and those things sometimes overcome the skilled boxer, as evidenced in some of the gentlemen he's beat.
With my strength and my determination and my will to win, I'll make him get tired. And
I feel very proud of him when I see him winning on the ring.
When I feel nervous, I feel good because I know that I'm worried and I've got to get out there and look after myself. I've got a job to do. So
I think that he has, over the last couple of years, gained some arrogance that I think goes hand in hand with being a world champion.
And I try to get him going backwards straight away, which has been a big part of my success. So as soon as I've got him going backwards, I know that the fight's slowly going to become mine.
He'll go as far as possibly to win another world title if he's still got the hunger for it.
I'd like to win 4 world titles. Would most probably be not my ultimate dream. My ultimate dream would be to win 5. I just want to make sure that if I win 4 and try to win 5, that I'm going to be the only boxer ever to do it undefeated. That's it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Good boy. Yeah, if you're not fitting strong, you can do more damage to your stomach, but I don't know, I haven't had anybody up here that can do them yet. Like, we're all pretty fit blokes up here, but nobody's really been able to come up and master the wheel. It's a pretty hard exercise, but yeah, it's Max's turn. No, you show him how we can do it. Say good night to Max, I'll take you. Say good night now. That's the closest anybody did what to do on Max. Here, Paris. That's the closest anybody's ever done on Max. Isn't it? He's never done one, has he, Max? Just about it. Only one other person here that can do it. Go on, Con, show me how you do it, brother. Here we go, the Chief. Come on, Chief.
Which way you do
You're
it?
the trainer.
Which way you do it?
You know how to do it, mate. You're the trainer. Yeah, come on, Chief. There we go. Yes, you can. Come on, Mario. Yes, you can, Mario Fenech. Come on. Jeff's going to help you. Let's go. Down, roll. Oh, well, Con can't do them. Keep trying hard,
I don't think a lot of people realize that Jeff Fenech is so unique. I would think that he'll go down as one of the greatest Australian fighters of all time. I mean, he's a young man who's able to switch off from the normal day of life and to switch into gear as far as the boxing side is concerned and totally push everything else aside. Now, that is something that I've only seen maybe once or twice in my boxing career. One of the persons was the great Roberto Duran.
Yeah, 2 fighters that I really admire, especially Roberto Duran. I feel in his younger days, when he was a hungry fighter, there was nobody like him.
These type of guys only come along once in a lifetime. That is because they've got this incredible drive to succeed. And that's something that is very, very rare. I mean, you get the great talented type of boxers, you know, who can produce and do the thing. But these guys would fight to the death.
You got on by what you did yourself. And so it invoked the idea, the Australian thing of the battler. And I imagine this is exactly the background that Fenech was involved in, that what he had to do, he had to get up off his own backside and work at it, because that's the only way you're really going to make it.
I pity people like Jeff Fenech because of the amount of work they have to put in there. I mean, Jeff has been fighting the scales for the last 4 years.
When he was a bantamweight and more recently a super bantamweight, Jeff was virtually down to a minimum of food intake, and it was something that really hurt me to see such little on his plate.
He puts 100% into everything he does, and when you know that he can't have a decent meal after a heavy training session, it makes you feel very, very grateful that, A, I'm a heavyweight and I can eat what I want. And then when I look down at this little fella, you know, who's so courageous and so good at his business, who's starving himself to make the weight, I said, thank God I never was born that size. I'm gonna have some lunch. Gotta build you into a heavyweight, son.
Now that he's in the featherweight, well, he can virtually eat most anything, but his diet is usually made up of a lot of steamed vegetables and seafood.
Well, I suppose physical preparation is always important, being fit enough to go the rounds, but if you haven't got mental preparation and you haven't got mental toughness, you can get out there and after a couple of rounds you can feel pretty tired.
That boxing is not just a game where you see the actual main event in the boxing ring, which is all highlighted and glorified in its best possible way. I mean, boxing is a very hard, very strenuous sport.
Initial defense of the title he captured exactly 4 months ago. Juggernaut Jeff Fenech.
I went over the rules with you in the dressing room, but for the benefit of the audience, and again, I want to just do it again quickly. I want you to repeat what I say to Shingaki because I don't want any problems to come up where he did not understand the command. When I say break, break. It's exactly what it means.
Shingaki is a mess. He's an absolute mess at the moment. Oh, now Fenech going after Shingaki over towards Jeff Fenech's corner. Blood on his gloves, on his trunks, on his chest. Shingaki is an absolute mess. He's been cut above the right eye and in the nose. He's brave, he's game in the true Japanese tradition.
Shingaki's face looks like one of those ceremonial masks, except it's a mask of blood as it streams out of his right eye.
Right into the body from Fenech. This could be the end of this fight. If they can't do something, this cut in the corner, I think you'll see the bout terminated. It looks to be a very nasty cut. It's a nasty cut, and not only is it nasty, he must have trouble seeing from the right eye, and Fenech is just pounding his gloves into his face. Going after him now. Shingaki trying to fight back. And he does so.
I think it'll take a team of surgeons at St Vincent's to fix that eye barrier. I very much doubt whether a couple of cornermen can do it in the space of a minute between rounds.
Yes, Michael, they've really got a job ahead of them to try and stop this cut. Very much red on Fenech, but it's the blood from Shingaki that's made him that way. Fenech bearing the punches, going downstairs. Look for the right, into the body. The left hand's got through the guard. Another left hand from Fenech. The uppercut was the punch that shook Shingaki earlier in the round. I think it's a punch that Jeff's been working on, especially for this fight, Alan. Well, he hasn't used it in his last couple, but he's got Shingaki in his own corner now. Shingaki trying to fight away, but he only runs into the gloves of Jeff Fenech. making absolute mincemeat out of the Japanese in this third round. Alan, I think you've got to put your hands together for this Shingaki, but he's incredibly tough. 6 seconds to go in the round. In fact, there's less than 6. That is round 3.
Back live and serious concern now in the corner of Shingaki. The doctor is shaking his head. I very much doubt this will continue.
That's it.
Shingaki throws down the towel in disgust. The Japanese complaining again. But really, Shingaki had given more blood than the average blood donor would give in 12 months.
You know, really terrible stuff to see managers and trainers want to let the boy go out. If I'd have been in his corner, it would have been over at the end of the second round, believe me.
Look at Shingaki shaping up to the referee. Silly fella, because he's been saved from considerable damage in the ring tonight. And there he is, Jeff Fenech, the king of the kids. They love him and he loves them.
There's a little boy, Jeff speaks about him a lot. Jeff lifts him into the ring. Jeff just can't help himself. I mean, if they put 10 crippled children at ringside, Jeff would probably take them all in there.
Jeff's got, they really look terrific and fully deserved by Jeff Fenech tonight. An absolutely brilliant career, brilliant victory for him.
Well, they're already interested in him in the United States, and here's a fella who's had 10 fights, 10 knockout victories.
You guess. Are you all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You want to play football?
Yeah.
More?
Yeah.
What are you going to do this time?
Run over there.
Why?
No.
Are you getting tired?
No.
You're not? You're just making your uncle tired. Hey?
No. Watch it.
Here we go. Whoa. 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 Now stay there. Don't move. Get ready to go right up in his gut. Ah, Trisha.
Uncle, I'm gonna... Yeah, I can tackle you. You tackle me first.
I just tackled you.
He has a special quality with children. He has a special quality with Blake. He wishes that Blake was his. He becomes his real, you know, the real him when he's with young children and people that he loves a lot, especially with smaller children. He'd give anything to Blake to make him happy, and he becomes really soft, quite different to the person that you see in the ring.
Here I come. Here I am. Oh, I get you.
In those days, he was really just fighting for the glory of success, I guess, and also to make John Lewis happy.
And I know that I've got my trainer and all my friends behind me, whether I win, lose or draw, and that's very important also to know that you can come out of there and whether you're a winner or a loser, you're still going to have the people that count beside you.
I suppose it wasn't until he became a professional boxer that it became his livelihood, that he began to think of his own success in terms of what boxing could do for him.
Jeff Fenech is someone who's done well out of his sport. He drives a $100,000 Maserati and owns 2 homes.
The biggest thing we've tried to get Jeff to do is to really look at what he's going to do when he retires, because he won't be in this sport. It's not the type of sport you'll be in for very long.
My friendship and my love for my friends is more important than money. And
I don't think he ever changed, because it's the same as us, you know. I came from a poor family myself, and I don't think money's going to change Jeff.
I just step in the ring to win, do Australia proud, and do the people that have supported me and helped me all the way through proud. I think that's more important than money.
He trains so hard, and he does so much to get into that ring, to have these fights. Everything that Jeff gets, he deserves.
There are plenty in the business that are jealous of the success that he's had. But without Jeff Fenech, boxing would still be in the clubs where people would pay $10 to go and watch a couple of boys slug at each other.
He suddenly found himself being noticed everywhere he went. And while he liked that, he also found it wearing a little bit thin after a while, and it took some time for him to handle success.
If you try to be one of the boys, you're not doing the right thing when you're a public figure, and you get in all kind of shit or trouble.
Well, boxing's made him a great national hero, I guess.
Is it all worth it? Is it worth being Jeff Fenech? Or would you rather just be Joe Blow down the road? And sometimes when I sit down and think about it, Joe Blow would be a lot better.
Fenech on home territory, where he got his start in the fight game, looked like the White Knight. And as far as this youngster was concerned, there was no doubt who was the good guy. Moments later, the challenger, with a Master Blaster perched on his shoulder, arrived. Then it was Jeff's turn. There was nothing too serious about the exhibition. The aim of the night was not to get knocked about, but to raise money for the Police Boys Club. The weigh-in was preceded by a drive through the city streets, in which what could only be described as a fairly remarkable trio took part. There was World Champ Jeff Fenech, his best mate, the intellectually handicapped Con, and bringing up the rear, 6'5" movie star Dolph Lundgren. The unassuming champ had to excuse himself through the crowds. There were the usual autographs for the Rabbitoh fans, the famous last words for the media, and then it was onto the scales to make sure he made the limit. Fenech had no problems. In fact, no sooner had he weighed in than he was whipping into his favourite food, ice cream.
We are in round 13.
No holding.
The third last round of the contest. And Jeff Fenech...
Break. Let him go. Step back. Turn him loose. Let him go. Keep the punches up.
Coffey, too, has never been this distance before. He's never been into 13 rounds.
I think the fantastic thing here, John, is that Fenech has proven, I'm sure, to all the boxing critics who have sort of said, oh, he might not be able to go 15 rounds or this and that and the other. And here he is in 13th round, as fit as almost as he was in the first round, and that's credit to him.
Keep him up.
And Coffey is showing his speed in this round. He's throwing plenty of leather.
Stop the wrestling.
Jeff says, let me get to him.
Stop the wrestling. Let's keep
Jeff Fenech was saying, let me get to him.
Cut him loose. All right, break. Keep it clean. No holding. Keep him up. Keep the punches up.
The little Aussie battler has certainly proven himself.
Break. You're wrestling. Stop wrestling.
To be a great fighter. Good champion.
No holding. Keep him up.
Keep him up, says the referee. Another punch from Fenech, a little bit low, but that's the end of round 13. Very close to the end now. This has been a fairly even round. Both of them have thrown plenty of leather. Some big punches. 10 seconds left. And Jeff Fenech certainly has retained his title. He's outpointed the American. Coffey on the road.
Oh, brilliant fight.
15. The contest is all over. It's all over.
By unanimous decision, retaining his International Boxing Federation Bantamweight Championship of the World, Jeff Fenech.
Yes, a unanimous decision in favour of Jeff Fenech. So Jeff Fenech is still the Bantamweight Champion of the world. And there you see Jeff with the championship belt.
Jeff's here to present his book, of course. Lovely colour, Jeff. You've got your the surrounding colours on it, the green and the gold. And today, of course, a great opportunity to have an autographed copy.
Would you be able to sign it there too? Under the belt there.
I've tried pretty hard to do what I'm supposed to do for the media. One day they're all behind you and out with you and treating you as if you're the king, but as soon as you slip up, the papers read you guilty, and you kind of come home and kind of think, gee, you know, who are my friends, and you know, what have I done to deserve that? They like you on the way up there, but as soon as you get there, they want to pull you back down to their level, and those kind of people really hurt me and really make me cranky. The good things you receive out of being famous are the things you work hard for, so I wasn't famous, I'd be a lot happier because, you know, I could just do and be who I want to be.
Too much fighting outside the ring has gotten triple world champion Jeff Fenech into big trouble with the New South Wales Boxing Authority. Fenech faces a ban from boxing in the state, and now the Marrickville Mauler has threatened to take his fists and his fights overseas.
Openly disgusted and nursing injured pride, Jeff Fenech left last night's hearing refusing to comment on the outcome.
The Boxing Authority will give you the decision.
But what Fenech had been told to do was apologise to Sydney boxing promoter Frank Axisa, who complained about the triple world champion after an unplanned ringside dust-up at a Western Suburbs club in March. Fenech refused. Now the authority wants him to show why his registration as a boxer should not be cancelled, suspended or reduced.
Yeah, how would I have a chip on my shoulder? What's there?
Well, all that's required is an apology, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, I'd apologise to any human, but I don't even rate him as one. I don't even think the man deserves an apology. He had 3 people there as witnesses for himself, and the 3 of them told completely different stories. It's all on tape, and if they couldn't see who's telling the truth and who was telling lies, and if he didn't deserve it, I wouldn't have done it.
Would you be sorry if you could never box in New South Wales again?
Well, definitely I would. I mean, these are the people that have supported me all my way through, yeah, and I fight at the entertainment centre in front of 12,000 people. Most times I do fight there, and if I couldn't fight here, I'd be very disappointed. And I've never wanted to go overseas, but I mean, if the people that run the boxing feel I'm no longer needed or no longer wanted here in New South Wales, I've set myself goals, and I'd like to be the first Australian to win 4 world titles, and if it means I've got to go overseas, I'll do it.
Okay, Jeff, we'll watch with interest, and thanks for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeff Fenech.
To go through the things that I do have to go through, you've got to have a temper, but you've also got to be able to control it.
It's got a very bad temper.
Not a bad temper, I think. I can go out and be like everybody else, as long as people let me be like everybody else, but it's pretty hard sometimes when you get that high profile that people come up and give you a hard time. But
he very quickly had to get used to being a public figure, getting used to people wanting to be around him, wanting to be near him. He didn't always handle the change well, I suppose.
I don't enjoy having people tell me what they feel about me without me being able to tell them what I feel about them.
I enjoy a lot of quiet places, because when we're out at like nightclubs and discos and things, Jeff gets harassed.
You get people that are rude, and they come up and try to, make heroes out of themselves and put you down, and you just got to sit there and cop it all. And it's pretty hard to do, especially when you're a fighter. And
he's a young man who's been put under the pressure of the media so much that his fuse has become very, very short now.
There are times where things get a little bit heated, and I lose my temper, and sometimes it's too late to fix up what you've already made a mistake out of, so you've got to carry through with it. That's pretty important in life, that you're able to stand up for yourself and fight for yourself, and if you think something's right, not really worry about the consequences.
Just attempts to drop his left hand.
Oh, terrific left from Zaragoza. That was a terrific punch. Bruised the face of Fenech. It was a lovely punch. Oh, and he slaps him on the top of the head, Zaragoza. He's getting the range now, and he fires one through Fenech's guard. So for the first time in the fight, it's Zaragoza who's starting to make a little bit of the pace, but Fenech's after him. He didn't like what happened, though. Another solid one to the body that was right on the borderline. The referee had a good look. Fenech's got him in the blue corner. Zaragoza gets one on the jaw. Another right cross on the jaw. Another right cross on the jaw from Fenech. And the bell goes for the end of the 4th round.
Excellent up till now. Zaragoza has come back on several occasions to show that he's not quitting.
He could have Zaragoza down, although he must have...
It's going to start coming up here. When we get on this back rope here, he pops me through a couple of elbows, and this is the last of 10th round. Busts me nose, and I tried to hit him back with a couple of elbows, and I just couldn't get him, so I headbutted him.
Looks like he could go a lot more than 10 rounds, Fenech, too.
I wasn't even tired.
Zaragoza was the man on the rope.
Yeah, he was a bloody tough man. He started me, and you see him elbowing me then? Look, let me try and elbow him. I didn't even try to hit him. Look, see him smiling? Just because he got back to me, I missed him back.
Zaragoza goes for the uppercut knockout punch.
I got him back soon. There we go. Which is...
Yes, that was a bit short of it, Jeff. They're a bit silly because it's the last round. There seems to be a bit of a graze on top of the Mexican's head, and in fact it looks like a serious cut on his forehead.
We're very close to the end of the fight.
Looks like a headbutt, but...
Fenech still trying to finish Zaragoza off in the neutral corner on the far side of the ring.
Come on, get your arm, please. Come on.
And there's the bell. It's all over.
Very good fight indeed. Jeff Fenech has really done a wonderful job here. He has beaten...
There's Con. See that, my brother? There he is, a celebrity, look. You watch, you do whatever I do, look. No. Good boy, Wongo.
9 points. The winner by unanimous decision. Retaining his unbeaten record after 13 bouts, Jeff Fenech.
In the back of my mind is a deep desire to play rugby league again. I really do think that my knowledge of the sport and my ability in the sport could also see me maybe reach some pretty satisfactory heights in rugby league. Yeah, I certainly consider myself a leader. I think when I played rugby league, I always led my teammates, and I seem to lead my friends by fine example now. We all went to Darwin together. A bit of a scuffle started, so the Crow and Max and Paris were all around the ring, and Peter was trying to get through the crowd, and some bloke grabbed him from behind by the back of the throat. They choked him, then killed him, threw him out of the ring. Then all the boys went wild. Started a big fight there. That's because they want to look after Peter. You know, Pete? No.
Despite the home crowd and the imported help, Heel hammered Siriotis from pillar to post, from corner to corner. Surviving cuts and bruises, the gutsy Siriotis held on. It was only when his own blood-soaked towel was thrown in that he accepted defeat.
There's the towel.
It looked as though his career might be over, but then something was said that caused it to briefly flourish again. It erupted into a full-scale brawl, including Fenech and one of the Marrickville Maulers' feisty friends, Peter Matreski, in the yellow shirt. Lewis pacified Fenech, while the bouncers effectively did the same to Matreski, throwing him out of the ring, again angering Fenech. The pitched battle raged for some time, before finally petering out. What happened? According to referee Ray Mitchell, it all started with a comment about Siriotis' wife.
If somebody called your wife a slut, what would you do? The bloke hit the fellow who called her a slut.
With Fenech's composure regained, he tried to play the incident down.
Something silly is no problem. I was pretty proud of what I'd done.
But you know the rules. I mean, if that was me, if positions were reversed and I jumped in there, it's perhaps inexcusable, people would understand. But I'm not a professional fighter. You've got lethal weapons at the end of your arms.
Well, Ray, just because I've got them don't mean that if I went out with you and seen somebody choking you, I'm going to let you and go and visit you in the morning and say, listen, Ray, I'm sorry because, you know, I'm a professional boxer. I just had to watch you get choked. I couldn't do that, Ray.
But do you think about that, mate? Do you think that, hang on, if I do this, I'm going to be in the middle of trouble?
Well, no, Ray, I don't even think about it because, like I said, my friendship is more important than any 3 world titles.
He's extremely loyal, and I feel that if you are fortunate to be a friend of Jeff's, you're very lucky.
Yeah, my friends are really, really important. As long as I go out with my friends, I don't care what happens. If I get into trouble and I'm with my friends and cuddles off and things like that, it's all right.
He will surround himself with his own friends, and outsiders just don't come in there. So yes, in that sense, I think he's got a sheltered life, but in another sense, he does belong to the world.
There's been people that I know aren't my real friends, or I know that won't be there when I need them, and I'm not too keen or interested in being around them.
I mean, he has achieved such a great height in his career now that he belongs to everybody.
I'm proud of what I've done and proud of the friends that I've got, and I've had the same friends today that I've had when I was a little kid, so I think that speaks for itself.
And Jeff is kind, I think, to everyone, you know, when if someone needs a bit of help, he'll try to help.
I think my one and only special friend, who is different to all the rest of my friends, is my retarded friend Con. He and I, like father and son, I suppose I've got to be like his father at times, where he's not able to really clean himself and things like that, and I've got to clean him, I've got to shower him and do things like that, but that makes me feel pretty proud because he's very special to me, and from somebody who lived a pretty sheltered life, Con now is what he says. He's a real big celebrity, and everywhere he walks, people talks to him and talks about him. And
what's Jeff going to do to that fella tonight?
Knock him out. Knock him out.
He's going to run and jab with that right hand, try and score with that big left.
Oh, a nice left hook from Jeff.
Fenech, right to the midsection.
Yes, that was a great body blow. That shook pipe.
Oh, and another right to the jaw, and Fenech's all over it again. Wait. The bell goes, and the crowd erupts at the end of round 2.
Talks out of it.
This is the part, this is where Jeff Fenech has got it over this guy. He's strong inside,
He's got that aggression that keeps coming all the time. He's keeping the southpaw on the back move.
Let's go.
Sam Hunt is in for a fight here.
Yes, Jeff Fenech is all over him. Parker won't go down easy. We're a long way from that. The crowd is erupting. Fenech has got Parker into the corner and in a lot of trouble. I said he won't go down, but he will.
Parker in desperate trouble. Lefts and right hands from Fenech to the body, then to the head. He's got him back against the ropes. He's hitting him with everything.
30 seconds to go in the round. We're in for an early night. If Jeff Fenech keeps this up, Parker is in all sorts of trouble. Say goodnight to Mark Parker. Get out of there or you're gone, boy.
Oh, Parker just standing there and letting Fenech hit him.
Well, the only thing that's getting Jeff Fenech time is throwing punches.
Another warning there to Fenech to stop pushing. He's hitting Parker at will now. The Thai boxer is down. He's out. He's finished. Parker is finished. Jeff Fenech. What a sensational finish to this fight.
A tremendous knockout by Jeff Fenech, the world champion, the World Boxing Council champion in the super bantamweight.
I lived in St. Peters and Tanya lived in Enmore. And I used to pervert her when she used to walk around the streets when she was young, and then we went to the same school. Just as I left, Tanya went to my high school, and I've been taking her out for about 9 years.
He's lovely to people, great to his family.
Yeah, Tanya's got a lot of pressure on her. I might have a lot on me, but people coming up and interrupting us, and me not having enough time to spend with her has made things hard. But I suppose whenever I've needed, she's always been there, and that's the most important thing.
And I also won this for a girl by the name of Tanya Foster. Thanks very much.
We've had a few splits, but we've always seemed to get back together, and I've just known her for so long. I think she's grown on me. There's times to be serious and times to be a larrikin. When I'm with Tanya, I try to be serious. When I'm with my mates, I try to be a larrikin. I don't want to treat her like one of my mates. We're on different levels. She's a lady and I'm a man. I do men things, she does ladies things. I think one of my biggest strengths is my mental approach, and although I've been in pain, I've been able to put it out for long enough periods to win my fights, and I suppose that's what makes world champions.
When I first became involved with Jeff, I didn't want to become too close to him, because at some stage I thought, we'll have to put him into a boxing ring where there might be a risk, and you can't do that to friends.
If I was worried about the dangers, I don't think I could succeed or do what or achieve what I have achieved.
I haven't met a tougher competitor or a tougher athlete.
There's been times I've been hit in rounds and I've been hurt, but
while he's in there doing his thing, he can block it out and gets by with the pain. He learns to live with pain.
I just try to walk straight back up there and let him think, oh gee, you know what I got to do to hurt him. And
I do get very scared, yes, because I'm always thinking he might get hurt.
I was always nervous, just feeling really ill in the stomach every time I went.
I feel very scared and very nervous because he's in there, by himself, and it's just nerve-wracking.
Well, I love to see him win whatever he wants, and then he settles down with a nice girl, have his own family.
I sit there and think, I can't wait till this finishes, and I can't wait till Jeff retires and gives it all up.
My longest time comes when I get in the ring, I suppose. You do know you're out there one-on-one, you're all alone.
When you're actually in the boxing ring itself, and the bell goes and you start getting punched or you punching the other person, and something is going wrong, there's only yourself to call on.
Even when I fight, I've got 12,000 people at the entertainment and screaming for me, but I'm out there alone.
I think boxing really is a sport that is one-on-one. I mean, if you're in trouble, the only person that can pull you out of it is yourself.
You get hit on the chin, your friends aren't allowed to jump over those ropes and help you as much as my friends would like to, but I'm out there alone, and I suppose that's what I enjoy the most, the challenge of one-on-one. It's something that you can only experience when you're in the boxing ring.
Mary and Paul Fenech are inside here at the Entertainment Centre to see Jeff in his first title defence, the super bantamweight title defence, that is, against Greg Richardson of the United States. We're into round 3 of this world title defence. The right connected from Fenech. Corner still encouraging Richardson to go downstairs. Richardson scores with the left and moves. That's what he's got to keep doing. Oh, we got caught again by the left from Fenech.
Yes, Jeff getting on top here in this third round with left and right. He's got this guy hurt.
Richardson is holding on. He'll be warned again, I'm sure. No, he escapes a warning, but Fenech goes after him again. Not let Jeff get over top of him. Another big right hand from Jeff Fenech. Richardson trying to punch back and does well.
Now Jeff came into Richardson with a slight overhand right hand there. It hurts Richardson. I'd be surprised if he doesn't do a few more of them.
Oh, he's strong, Fenech. Richardson just can't backpedal fast enough.
Unfortunately, he's in with a very strong guy. There's no way to really hold him off, except he's going to have to stick and move as well as he can and keep moving. Hope that Jeff runs out a bit of gas.
And Jeff Fenech is all over. He's in real trouble, real trouble. Fenech was going to hit him on the way down. Richardson will get back up, though.
He's badly cut over the left eye. And if his second gets into the ring, the fight's over. He better get out of the ring. He's going to quit. I don't think he wants it.
It's over.
He doesn't want it anymore.
Well,
he doesn't want it anymore. Jeff Fenech
really turning it on
very
again.
very spectacular, very strong. Jeff Fenech, the fight is over. The fighter, Greg Richardson, did not want to continue. The fight is over.
Yeah! Vai dar uma pequena descrição para cliente, clientes. Aha. Now who's turn is it? Mine. It's got you put in my face, buddy, right? Promise. Wait a minute. Promise. Don't promise, Uncle. Say it. I promise. I love you, Uncle. I love you. All right. Very good. Great fight. Very good.
I'd like to never have had to fight, although I enjoy it, but it's a pretty hard way to make a living. I'd like to have been able to help my family at a much younger age. When I go into hospital and you see little sick kids who have got leukemia, cancer, and they're pretty close to dying, and you put a smile on their face. For all the success you get in the ring, just doesn't make you feel the same.
Who better to donate the biggest turkey you'll ever see, or is that a plucked pterodactyl, to the Camperdown Children's Hospital?
Hopefully on Christmas Day, thanks to the Costies again, they're going to have a great Christmas dinner.
He's such an infectious character and such a lovable character that it's impossible to deny him.
I've been to, you know, spastic centres and seen little kids and to hospitals, and that's probably the most rewarding part of what I've earned and what I've achieved in the ring.
Unfortunately for King Carlos, the referee can't stand in front of Jeff Fenech for him, and Jeff Fenech is all over him again in the corner, and he's chasing him down.
He's down, Serrano is down. Will they put the count on him this time? Yes.
Unless he can pull something surprising out, but he's still punching.
Well, legends are always a little bit larger than life, and maybe that's the case with Serrano as well.
But that cut is opening over Jeff Fenech's eyes. Once again, looking at trying to put Serrano away. He can't get a clean shot on him. He scores there with the right hand.
That's it. Bell for the end of the fourth with a flurry of punches. Fenech and Serrano going at it hammer and tong at the Horton Pavilion.
It's a headbutt, man. Where's the doctor? Doctor. Look up his head. The headbutt. 1 point penalty for him if they stop it, okay?
So the cut over Jeff Fenech's eye has been caused by a headbutt.
Hey,
the fight has stopped.
Into a brawl here.
The fight has been stopped. Serrano figured he had won the fight.
What's happening?
But you will find, Serrano thought he'd won the fight, but the fight has been stopped because of a deliberate headbutt from Carlos Serrano. The point was taken away from him, and the fight will go to Jeff Fenech. This is controversy.
It goes to the fight. The Pirates ahead on points.
And now the jeers turn to cheers because they realise that Fenech will win the fight. They must win the fight.
That's the WBC ruling. The other corner knows it because it was read out distinctly at the rules meeting. And the referee is the judge on whether it was a punch or a head collision. He called it a head collision.
Jeff heard that Sylvester Stallone was coming to Sydney, so Jeff went around to see him, and there was his dream come true right in front of his eyes.
Rambo proves he really does know his punches.
Catch the fly. 2 flies.
So does this man, that prince of pugilists, Jeff Fenech, who came along not to give, but to get an autograph.
Well, he's always been number one to me, and I've had these around the house in different places, and I thought I'd get a chance to pull them down and get them signed today.
You should be giving lessons here, no me.
He came home, and just like a little child, he was so excited. I saw Sylvester Stallone, and I talked to him, and when he first started boxing, he'd sit there for hours and hours and watch all the Rocky films to psych himself up to go in and fight all these guys.
Just looking at his body and seeing the extremes he's gone through to get in condition for his movie clips, and I'd hate to be in there with him. He's very, very fast. He's a counter puncher, and he does everything he can to tie you up when he thinks he's going to get in a bit of trouble, and I think he does it pretty effectively.
While Jeff studied the tape, his mind was clearly elsewhere. His father lays in intensive care at the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. At the moment, concentrating on fighting isn't easy.
I'm sure my dad's going to be all right, but whatever does happen, I know what my dad would want me to do, and my dad wants me to train and fight and win. That's all. He's stuck around for quite a few years now, and he's been pretty sick, and I know how much my dad enjoys me fighting and winning, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
I think he gets a lot of his heart and his strength from his father, and I'm pretty certain that when our hands put up in victory on the night, that the first fellow that we'll see will be Paul sitting in the front row.
Tonight, Jeff's out to make it world title number 3 when he steps in against the well-performed Puerto Rican Victor Callejas, who was delighted he had no weight problems either.
Right on the weight.
Today, after he weighed in, the Marrickville Mauler brushed aside suggestions that Callejas might have the punch that could finally worry him.
I hope not to feel his punches, so I'm not going to be able to tell you. I might be able to tell you a bit more after the fight, but hopefully not.
Well, he's telling the second of Callejas, and now Callejas is coming out, blinking his eyes as though he had something in his eyes that was stinging him. In the 8th round.
Victor Callejas just changing the tempo of the fight a little bit. Jabbing out that left, getting on the bite, and pushing out the left of Jeff Fenech. A good left and a right by Victor Callejas. He pumps it out. A good left there by Callejas. This has been the best start for Victor Callejas in the fight so far, Ron Casey. Round 8.
Yes, it is. And it'll be interesting to see if they call a truce with each other on the headbutting business, because, as I say, it's a big danger in this fight, and if they start being billy goats, out-and-out billy goats, Steele might well, anything could happen. Watch it.
Okay, Fenech, a left there, and down goes slip. That throwing him down, and all it did was to give Courageous a chance to recover and to see the round out.
But he's hurt, Jeff. He's hurt.
Oh, he's in terrible trouble.
He's hurt. Fenech has got him, and there's a left by Courageous and a right swinging. A left makes its mark. It slows Fenech up a bit.
18 seconds.
Weaves back, and 18 seconds to go of round 8. Jeff Fenech pounding Victor Courageous, and he'd like to think that he was back home in Puerto Rico on the beach there at the moment. The head goes down.
Oh, great uppercut.
And there's the problem for Courageous. And there's only seconds left of the round. Can he see it out? Yes, he will. Another great round of Jeff Fenech in round 8. And Ron Casey, he has won. Round 10 we're into. Courageous just trying to stay away from the ever onward assault of Jeff Fenech.
Courageous' left eye is puffed up. I think he's got to cut somewhere over that right. And his face is looking like, well, the alpaca poochie.
It certainly is. And Jeff Fenech and Victor Courageous. Good left by Jeff Fenech, and he's again into Victor Courageous up against the rope. There's the body punch. Back goes...
It's all over. It's all over. Courageous is down. He's got it.
He's got it. In round 10 has won the fight. You take it, Casey.
To the fans around Australia, through the satellite services provided by Bill Morty, how do you feel?
Peter, I'm the happiest I've ever been. For my mum, my girlfriend, my trainer Johnny Lewis is the greatest bloke in the world. I'm so happy to have my dad here. And I just want to tell you all something. Jeff Fenech never takes any shortcuts, but for the last month I've had a broken hand. I haven't even told my trainer Johnny Lewis. And tonight, if you watch the fight closely, I'm the first person in Australia to win 3 world titles with one hand.
Today's X-rays have put Fenech's career on the canvas.
Well, the doctor said there also could be something else wrong with it, which is most probably worse than a fracture.
The X-rays reveal Fenech's right hand may not only be fractured, but may have sustained serious ligament damage. More will be known when the swelling goes down. Even now, the champion expects to be out of the ring for at least 3 months.
Well, I had an operation, Ray, and they cut a little bit of bone out and turned the bone over so I can try and make a fist. I still can't make one yet, but the doctors are pretty confident, so am I.
Bit of a handicap for a pug if you can't make a fist.
Yeah, but like I said, we're all confident it's going to be better, and that's the main thing.
Were you finding it difficult? Was it simply hurting?
Yeah, I just can't. On both hands, I just don't make a full fist. My index finger sticks out a little bit, and every time I punch, my hands all blow up, you know, through the trauma. It just blows up the capsule and that, so it makes it pretty hard after I have a spar.
On the right hand as well?
On both hands, yeah.
Well, you're going to have an operation on that one as well?
I don't think so. I'll live with the pain.
Be first to the scales, the defending champion, Australia's Jeff Fenech. The challenger from the West Indies, Tyrone Down, #1 contender and the current Commonwealth champion.
And I feel pretty confident, but I did everything right. I haven't taken any shortcuts, and I think that's the main ingredients to success, apart from this good pasta.
Mum's cooking any better, Jeff? She getting better?
I'm not sure, Zor. I don't want to give her too many reps.
That's all right, son.
Will this be your last meal before the fight?
No.
No, you'll eat again.
Yeah, I'll go down to the pancake parlour or somewhere, have some pancakes and some ice cream.
Feeling a bit more nervous than this time yesterday?
Yeah, I am, but I had a few butterflies in the stomach, but there's no room for them to fly at the moment. We're all just getting drowned or in quicksand.
Do you think he'll be in quicksand tonight?
I hope so. Like I said, I'm not going to underestimate him. I'm going out there to fight the #1 contender in the world. There's something there at stake that, you know, people get a chance to fight for once in their life, and he's getting a chance to fight for it. So I don't think he's going to come here and not try his best. He wants to go home and be treated at home how I'm treated here in Australia. But I'm afraid to say I'm not going to let that happen for him.
Orchestrating tenacity of quality, gloved scorpion, challenger, Tyrone Down. In 20 professional bouts, 17 inside the allocated span, one of only 11 to win world crowns in 3 different weight categories: bantamweight, contesting his 9th world title engagement, answering destiny's call to omnipotence, Fistic Blitzkrieg, defending champion Jeff Fenech.
Downs with 33 fights under his belt, but has not been real active. His last fight was last October. The second round stoppage of Felix Guzman.
Just being manhandled now, though.
Fenech looked like he was about to send him to the canvas, but somehow Downs stayed up despite a good combination of the hand.
Stop. Fenech tried to hit him, tried to punch behind his own back. You see everything in boxing, Tim.
Fenech picking up his pace.
Fight!
Manhandling, as Bill Clancy described it. Downs into the ropes, firing away, and
Stop. Don't hold his head, Jeff.
Just holding on, and it's Fenech who gets the warning.
That's what Downs is going to have to do. He's going to have to nail Fenech, get his respect back. Fenech is walking right through him. And he hurt him.
He got him, and down he goes, and then Fenech down to the knee just to make sure. Downs taking the count, looking at his corner. And a discouraged looking Tyrone Downs trying to get it together over in the corner. Well, it was a hard body shot to the ribs that sent him to the canvas, but now Downs rallying.
And a good left hook by Downs.
Look at this
and
rally.
A good right hand.
Landed a clean right hand to that cut and opened it up again.
And another combination by Downs.
Pounding away.
No, stop.
No reply.
Don't hold his head. Step back, Cairo. Spot.
Well, what a turnaround here, at least temporarily.
That may have been the last hurrah, though, Tim. He only has so much energy.
Another body shot. That hurt him. Down he goes again. Tyrone Downs just can't handle those body shots, and it is all over.
I'd like to feel I haven't got any weaknesses. I suppose I've done things wrong, but I wouldn't call them weaknesses.
Jeff's fights meant so much to Dad. He could be so sick and get up and go to those fights.
Having my mum there to support me all the time is great, but my dad's strength through all his sicknesses, and that was mostly the most important factor in me being able to do what I've done.
I want to dedicate this also to my dad, who's not here, but he knew I'd do it.
Jeff, no problems with the hands and no problems with the eye.
No problems with nothing. I feel great.
I've done a lot of things the hard way, and I've worked pretty hard to achieve what I've done. Wouldn't be 1/10 of what my dad went through.
The World Featherweight Championship of the World. Speed and strength inside is so dominant. An automatic point deduction if he's warned again for a low blow. There's one again. And he comes back with the right hand and hits him with a low blow. He's rocking Villasana. Good left.
Right hand. That's the best punch of the fight.
Yes, it is. A great punch by Jeff Fenech, left and right.
Because Villasana is capable of doing anything. Honestly, he's nailed Jeff Fenech a few times. In Fenech's corner, they're working on that mouse on his eye. It's not cut, but it's swollen up, I'm sure, from a headbutt. Maybe a Villasana thumb.
Dropping the guard. Oh, great punch underneath. Beautiful punch underneath by Fenech. He feigned with his left and then beautiful right underneath by Jeff Fenech. Now going in the body and then upstairs again on Villasana. Villasana has become a virtual punching bag now for Jeff Fenech. Great left by Fenech, and you can see the spray come from the mortared head of Villasana, and a great right there by Fenech. Fenech measuring him up high level, low blow by the Mexican.
Just have a think about how he's feeling now.
He's rocked Fenech. He's nailed Fenech there. Fenech's nailed
back.
And he
Coach is so concerned, he's screaming at Fenech.
Well, that's a great round to Villasana.
But he is the toughest man that Fenech has ever had to fight. Let's do that for the rest of this round.
Fenech spitting blood. Joey Cortez telling Fenech it's the last round. I think it would have been the sweetest words he's ever heard. Looking very fresh. Jeff Fenech, what an amazing performer. There's the headbutt. The chant goes up. Fenech, Fenech, right around this massive stadium. It'll be, look at him dancing. He can still dance after losing all that weight. There's the end of the fight. What a great fight. Jeff Fenech has retained, I'm sure, his WBC featherweight championship of the world. Look at Fenech and listen to the crowd roar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vilasana, 109 points.
Fenech wins the fight.
Jerry Roth, Jeff Fenech, 118 points. Marcos Vilasana, 109 points. By unanimous decision, retaining his WBC featherweight championship of the world, increasing his record to 23 contests, for as many victories. Australia's greatest boxer of any time, Jeff Fenech.
I'd like to announce today that this is my last fight. I'm now officially retired, and I do recall on my career saying when I do, I'll never come back. I've spoken to my trainer, Johnny Lewis, and like I said, I just want to thank you all, and I think I've had enough. Thank you.
Well, Jeff, what's prompted the decision there?
Yeah, just my hand. Bust just want to get in the second round, and I just feel, it's just not worth taking that pain every time I go round. I've never had one fight where I've been able to sit out and shake hands after it. I can look at the person's eyes that loves me, and he's standing there, and when I walked in the dressing room, I seen him nodding his head, and I know what he meant. So I said it to him before he had to say it to me.
When I took the glove off and he winched, and I said, I'm going to cut the bandages off, and when I took it off and I just seen that, mate, I don't expect him to go through that.
We go and have operations, and I know I just come back again, it's going to happen again. It's been no different. And like I said, I don't need money. I've got the greatest bunch of friends and the greatest man in the world, the trainer. I wish my dad was here, but he's not. I've got my mum, my girlfriend. And like I said, I've had all your support, so thanks again.
train 7 days a week, twice a day, which consists of early morning road work between 6k, 7k, do sprints, exercise every day. In the day, I pick on the car to clean up and spend some time with Con, come back home, just have a rest, and then back to the gym in the afternoon where we do a good hour and a half of shadow sparring first, skipping exercises. On alternate days we box, we punch the pads, the 4 to 30, and after that it's home and onto a rigorous diet. Because of my natural weight is a little bit heavier than my fighting weight. I've got to watch my weight, so I come home and try to have as much rest as I can. Hey? You want a vacuum? To me first. Here we go again. Open up. Yeah, that'll do. Oh. Wow. All right, Baldy, get ready for this one.
Oh, wait, oh, so you ready to retreat? Open up. Oh, quick, you missed it.
Mum, look at this photo of Jeff. How old is he there? 4 months old. He's fat, isn't he? One day when he was at the football field, he lost the game and he was sitting down and was crying his eyes out. Daddy smacked him. I said, come on, Jeff, all teams have to lose. Then he said, no.
But after Shinyaki has taken plenty of punishment, he's still coming back at the end of this round. Oh, that was a bit low. Fenech didn't like it. Right. Now Fenech goes after Shinyaki. Shinyaki got him low and Fenech didn't like it at all, nor he should. As the bell goes to end round 4. Shinyaki has caught plenty with 23 seconds to go in the 7th round. But he's still inclined to walk up to Fenech and take the fight up to him. Fenech gets out of harm's way. Nice boxing. Fenech's confident.
10 seconds to go. A magnificent round for Jeff Fenech, who's hit this Japanese champion with about 400 right hands.
He's got the look of confidence on him, Fenech. As the bell goes to end, a great round for him, round 7. Well, excitement coming from the Japanese corner as he got a left hand through to Jeff Fenech, but he hasn't got many through tonight. There hasn't been too much to cheer about so far in Shinyaki's corner, although he's the world champion. He's been the
knowing how sick and what a fighter he was, sure made things easy for me. Everything that I've done wouldn't be 1/10 of what my dad went through.
Fenech now hits him with a right. Beautiful punch. Navarro on his bike, and who can blame him? As Fenech must be getting tired from raining blows. He's tough, Navarro. He's been down twice in the last round, but he is almost out. There is no defence now.
1:22 to go, and Navarro's one punch away from being...
He's still
game as could be, could not fight any further. He was only a punching bag, and very wisely the fight was stopped. There it is, Jeff Fenech retaining WBC featherweight championship with a win in the 5th round, and Albany County stopped the fight.
Johnny Lewis, what a fantastic performance. The greatest fighter that this country's ever had. Mate, I just want to say hello to all the Newtown boys at the Henson Park Hotel and watching Jeffrey. They rang up today to give him their support. We love all the Newtown boys too, mate. Johnny, was that his best effort? Oh, great, mate. That breaks the best fighter that he could ever fight, and he's just done it so easily.
I'm grateful when people do rate me as maybe the greatest boxer Australia's had, but I'd like to think that I'm only the same as every other boxer that steps in the ring and gives it their best. Come on.
The boys makes me lose the game because they wasn't trying harder. And he was the captain. Yeah.
I was born in St Peters and moved to Marrickville just before I turned professional. I suppose that's where I got the nickname the Marrickville Mauler.
He was special to me because he was the baby. He used to cuddle him in bed and he used to tell me beautiful prayers.
Pretty proud how Mum brought up all the kids. She hasn't had it easy. She had to work 3 jobs at a time. And
he came from a situation where his father was an invalid pensioner and his mother was a cleaning lady looking after 6 small children.
Well, it was difficult, you know, with the 6. That was all. Jeffrey was about 1 year old when his father got sick.
He virtually came from nothing, and I guess it's the total contrast. All his life he wanted to be rich and famous, and now he's both.
And I'd never change the things that I'd done. I suppose I'd change a few things at times I got caught doing things wrong.
I could never catch Jeff. He was younger, but I could never catch him dodging through the cars in the street.
He got involved in street fights, he got involved in petty crime as a youngster. And I think living by himself and coming from a background where his father was obviously a man of great courage and determination to keep living for as long as he did, 20-something years after his first heart attack, that instilled an inner toughness and a mental strength in Jeff. I think that's really at the core of his success as a boxer.
We were very fortunate that a man named Shingaki held the IBF bantamweight title, and we were able to get him at Jeff's second fight, and he became the quickest in history to win a world championship.
Threes. He's as tough as teak. He's hurt. Shingaki's hurt. But he fights back.
A display of sheer guts and courage from the world champion as he battles to retain his title against the Tiger from the back streets of Marrickville in Sydney. Looking at the referee now saying, please, how much longer is this going on?
Oh! And from Fenech. That stood him up. On the break, McTavish got in to break them and Fenech cut him loose. He stopped it. Fenech is the new world champion. The crowd will say it all. Still coming for Jeff Fenech. And also for Satoshi Shingaki. Jeff, a very, very brave competitor, Mr. Shingaki.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. That's the hardest fight I've ever had, amateurs or professional. And I don't know who says that the IBF's not a worthy title, but Shingaki sure was a worthy champion, and I'm just so honoured to take this belt back to Marrickville tonight and celebrate with everybody that wants to come down there, because you're all invited. So I love everybody.
But there were no fisticuffs in Marrickville last night. At the hotel where the publican had sponsored him, the new champ returned home to his fans.
While the television set showed replays of their hero's win, Fenech